Hello everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very well. I'm outside Stamford Bridge after a 3-1 win against Liverpool in the Premier League. The most pathetic Premier League champions I've ever seen in my life. It was like, what champions? Have you ever seen a champion fold to a team of inexperienced youngsters? Who the fucking Arne Slot? You let us slot 3 goals past Liverpool today. I tell you what, Champions League football, I'm not going to say I believe it can happen, but the hope is building up. And Maresca, no doubts whatsoever with the way he started the team. I'm absolutely glad to see Caicedo in that inverting role again instead of Reece James. I know there was a debate about it before the game. Do we start Caicedo? Do we start James? Do we start Sancho? Do we start Neto? Listen, it was Neto and it was Lavia with Caicedo inverting. Right decision, 100%. I struggle to see any area in this team today, very much like your garden, where I'll be honest, don't really have any negatives to say. I don't have anything that I didn't like. I was a fan of the performance. I thought it was controlled. I thought it was effective. I still think that we had a directness to our play. When we had the ball, of course we kept it and we wanted to maintain possession. There was no doubt that occasionally we passed backwards. We always do. That is part of a possession-orientated style. But when we had the ball, we were the ones creating on as much as anything. It wasn't Liverpool. They had limited chances. To be honest with you, 3-0 would have been a very fair scoreline today. 3-1 is almost flattering what I saw from Liverpool because they did nothing. They did absolutely nothing. They started Alexander-Arnold. He's off to Madrid. He doesn't want to stay there. Fucking hell, who would? I mean, have you seen Liverpool? Jesus Christ. You got Van Dijk as well. He signed a new deal. Salah started today. It was a strong lineup from a Liverpool perspective. And I've got no doubts that they came here off the back of a hangover. I'm surprised they didn't drop more players, to be honest with you. But the reality is, we had something to play for today. They didn't. All they had was pride. If we didn't win this game, even if we drew, we could have accepted that it's a decent result considering the opponent. But in the back of our head, we can always appreciate that we're Chelsea. We shouldn't even be having this conversation about top 5. Top 5? I mean, are you kidding me, guys? Are you kidding me? We're going to have to move, cameraman. We're going to have to move. Top 5. I'm looking at... Go on, pick it up. I'm looking at this team at the moment. If you put it just over there, mate. If you look at the team at the moment and you see if you see what we're doing, this has been very much a wave effect this season. Last season was lots of small waves, up, down, as Father likes to say. This season it's been right to the top of the hill, back down to reality. But this is a team that's built on confidence. And we have struck a perfect time to reach the stage where our players are feeling confident, where Jackson come off the back of 2 goals against Uganda. Where you've got Madueke able to play on the left and the right. Never seen that before. You've got Lavia in the fold, fit, stable, able, controlling everything when he's on the pitch. He's a key player. He's like Chelsea's Rodri. If we don't have Lavia, I think it's very difficult to have this discussion about getting into the Champions League. But with him in this team, that conversation becomes much more realistic. And Caicedo as well, his versatility. We look at Swiss Army knife players. Fucking hell. Not only have you got one of the best midfielders in the league who's able to run up and down, create, shoot, score goals, win his duels, you've also got a guy who can play as a right back and invert into the midfield as well. Okay, you've got a player who can do everything. I see a guy... He's not the tallest of players, winning duels against Virgil van Dijk, winning those battles. So the midfield is looking really, really good with Caicedo and Lavia in there. It's fantastic. You got Fernandes doing exactly what we want him to do. I mean, I'm having a conversation with Matt earlier on the fan cam, those of you who watched that interview, and he's saying he wants Fernandes to play in the 10 so that you can then play Palmer on the right. I'm seeing Fernandes making all these runs into the box. We saw it at Leicester when he scored. We saw it today, getting on the end of chances, finishing chances, not just shooting, but shooting with conviction, shooting with accuracy, and becoming a real problem for opposition, for opponents. And this is a midfielder that's a serious asset. I read an article by Danny Murphy. I can't remember who it was. It was yesterday. He wrote it, and he said that Caicedo is the only player that Chelsea paid for that's actually worth the money we paid. I'm not going to sit here and say Enzo's worth 100 mil, but he's not far off 100 mil. He's an 80 million pound player. He's a top player. And when you look at the key performers in this team, these are players that we spent a lot of money on. Your Lavias, your Caicedos, your Fernandes. Is it any surprise to you that those are the players that perform for us? Even Fofana when he is fit. Players, ready-made players. Players that already knew how to play in this league, who had established themselves at other clubs. Not players just built on potential. But listen, everything's about potential at Chelsea at the moment, and we still potentially could not get Champions League. We could potentially be in the Conference League again. If the season doesn't go well, obviously I think we will win the Conference League. I've already booked my flight to Poland. And I have more hope than I've ever had that we can get into the Champions League. Still not convinced. For me, we beat Newcastle, I believe. I well and truly believe if we beat Newcastle that we'll get into the Champions League. And I hold my hand up and I'll take back a lot of the things that I've said about Maresca in terms of the fact that he's not good enough to manage his team. And I say, even though there's a lot of fans that disagree with me, especially that guy just walked past me. He looks like he's been punched in the face. I don't know if he's got a problem. Maybe someone needs to do it. I don't know. The reality is not everybody's going to agree. Not everyone's going to agree. But what we can agree is that we had targets this season, Champions League and Conference League. If we achieve those targets, I'm going to sit here. I'll take it. No problem. Comments, come at me. Lewis, I will sit on a chair while you say what you want to say. But ultimately, I want to see Chelsea succeed. I want to see this happen. I want to see this team improve. I didn't believe, based on what I've seen a lot of 2025, that Maresca is the manager. Still don't really, to be honest with you. But a good performance is a good performance. Today wasn't even good. It was great. It was a great performance against Liverpool league champions. They were chanting champions all they want. I mean, I can chant anything. Doesn't mean it's actually true. I mean, I didn't see champions today. I saw a team that got beat because they were hungover. So listen, if this is how it's going to be next season, I think there's a real opportunity, if Chelsea get their business right, for us to be right up there. We're not even that far behind Arsenal. We lost to Bournemouth. I want to see Mark Gurhey in this team. I want to see Dean Huijsen from Bournemouth in this team. That's about 90 million. I want to see a striker, maybe two, depending on if you're getting an Osimhen or if you're getting a Delap. If you get Osimhen, no problem. I'm happy with that. If you get Delap, you probably need more quality on top of that, to be honest. There's also talk about Chelsea getting winger. I'm not going to complain if we sort out the other key positions. Esugo's coming in. Andre Santos is coming in. Petrovic. A lot of these positions, we're going to have serious depth. And the goalkeeper is confident, arguably one of the best in Europe this season. So Chelsea have got a lot to play for. Not just for this season, but for the long-term future of this club. We've got players in this team that need to feel what it's like to be one of the best. And we just haven't been that over the past couple of years. So the fact that we're getting closer and closer, Newcastle dropped points. Forest, I'm sure they dropped points the other week as well. Oh, it's cold. Listen, it's cold, people, but I'm... Hansjörg Wyss, how are you doing? Are you okay? Can I ask what you thought about the game today? What did you think about the game today?
It was a fast, well-played game by both teams. Fast and normal.
Yeah.
The teams were in great shape, both of them.
What do you think stands out about Chelsea at the moment? What do you think we are good at?
I think we're now playing as a team, not as 11 individuals. And I think the coach really has brought a great spirit into the group. I
Yeah.
used to spend time with them in the locker room.
Yeah.
And they all were talking to each other, they all were congratulating each other, and the coach gave a great motivational speech.
And just one more question for you, Hansi. What's your thoughts on Chelsea going into next season? There's a lot riding on Champions League football, and also the stadium as well. I mean, me personally, I think Earls Court is a good option. I don't know what your thoughts is on it, but a lot of fans want to stay at Stamford Bridge as well.
Earls Court would be the best option we can even think of. If it's going to happen, I don't know.
Okay.
There's a lot of obstacles. And right now we don't have one person who drives that project. That's what we need. You know what I mean? The meetings, the directors' meetings and so on.
Of course.
Not that we have one project where I said I'm going to make it happen. It's not going to happen.
I'm with you. Thanks for your time, Hansi. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you, buddy.
You.
Well, there you go. I'll tell you what. You know what? That's respectable, isn't it? That you have an owner who's actually happy to go and speak to the fans. We didn't get that from Meg Barley the other week. It's not hard. And for those of you who are saying I need to shout at this guy, you know what? He's come over, he's spoken to us. Now you actually know what one of the owners thinks about the team. So there you go. Listen, I'm going to wrap it up there. I think it was a great performance. It was a great performance. And look, Hansi enjoyed it as well. And bring on the Champions League, people. Bring on the Champions League. Let's have it.